All right, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about 4 books everybody should read. The first book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book was written like 100 years ago. Napoleon Hill interviewed hundreds of millionaires, and he created a blueprint on how you can think and grow rich. In this book, he talks about stuff like the power of the subconscious mind. He talks about how to make decisive decisions. He talks about the power of a mastermind group where you get people who are working on the same goal as you, the same mission as you, and you mastermind and what the power of the mastermind is. He talks about how to get specialized knowledge and the power of specialized knowledge in a field of study. This is a great book on just Thinking and Growing Rich. It was written by Napoleon Hill about 100 years ago. The next book that I want to share with you is another book that I have personally read a lot of times, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie wrote this book, I believe, in 1936, somewhere around there, and he discovered some important money-making facts. 2 of the facts that I will extract from this book is, the first fact that he discovered is that everybody, the sweetest sound to their ear is the sound of their own name. And he talks about the value of remembering names and what that can do to influence people. He goes on and takes it a step further. He says the second fact is that everybody's favorite subject is actually themselves. Me, Ron White, I'm my favorite subject. But he talks about how to influence people by talking about them and listening to them and valuing them. It's a really great book, and it can really shift our mindset. Oftentimes, we think the way we're going to influence people is just by telling them all this great stuff about our product or service or whatever, and really we influence people by listening to them, by listening to their favorite subject, their favorite topic themselves. So that's How to Win Friends and Influence People. This next one is a book that I am currently reading. It's a modern book. It's called Atomic Habits. And right here on the back of the book, it says, "Discover the secret to results that last." It's packed with evidence-based self-improvement strategies. Atomic Habits will teach you how to design habits that work for you rather than against you. It has been said that we make our habits and then our habits make us. Let me say that again. We make our habits and then our habits make us. If you want to develop some powerful habits that are going to make you into a powerful person, Atomic Habits, I think, is a book everybody should read. And finally, this last book, Eckhart Tolle's book, and I'm not sure if you say it Eckhart Tolle or Eckhart Tolle. I've always said it Eckhart Tolle. His book, The Power of Now, is one that I have always shrugged off. It's been recommended to me over the years, and I've always said, that's not for me. That's a little too woo-woo, or that's a little too, energy, universe, vibes, spiritual for me, or whatever. I'm more of a stoic philosophy, nuts and bolts, you do this. But this book, I'm going to tell you, it made such an impact for me over the last year. The last year, I was getting caught up in a lot of things that were stressing me out and producing anxiety in my life. And I listened to this book. I got it on the audio version. And he began talking about the power of now, the power of this moment, the power of right now. And it shifted my focus over the things that I was upset about or anxious about or stressed about. And I began just focusing on this exact moment. And it was so powerful for me. And that's why I want to recommend this book so strongly. It was a book that if it had been Stoic Philosophy of Marcus Aurelius, How to Build a Warrior's Brain, I would have been like, oh, I got that. Let me read that. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now? Nah, that's not for me. It actually was. I remember getting off an airplane and being so in the moment. I was looking at the sign and I'm like, that sign, there's 4 corners on it and there's 5 lights on there, and those lights, and I was noticing the color of the lights. I was so in the moment and my stress was so reduced and I was so calm. It's a great book. So, Atomic Habits. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, and The Power of Now are 4 books that I think everybody should get. If you want to know more of things I think that you should read or learn, subscribe to my channel, and they'll be on future videos, I'm sure.